K-pop Demon Hunters is good. Probably. I didn't even watch it yet. No. Please don't kill my film. Look, regardless of whether it's the greatest film ever made or not, the success was historic. It became Netflix's most watched thing ever, and honestly, I'm not surprised. News articles are scrambling to find some secret sauce, like quote unquote near perfect details that led to its success. I mean, have you seen the fans? The secret sauce is that K-pop is already bigger than half the countries on Earth. K-pop idols, K-dramas, Korean barbecues, that's not Korean. The point is, I've got cousins, friends, and maybe even teachers secretly standing groups. Meanwhile, I'm basically a boomer when it comes to idols, but I do get it. The music slaps, the idols are trained like anime protagonists, and the amount of raw talent is insane. Like, you mean to tell me that the star of the show is also a dancer and a singer? I just wanted to feel like a failure today, huh? But K-pop and idols aside, K-dramas being good should shock absolutely nobody. Parasite swept the Oscars. Oldboy is one of the greatest films of all time.
Spike Lee, I will never forgive you for that remake.
And Squid Game inspired Mr. Beast to make a channel. Korean cinema has been on par, if not better, than its competitors for decades. So when I say Korean dramas are good, there's a lot to back that. Trust me, I am not a Koreaboo. I may yell when I stub my toe, but every country has its good and bad. I could easily make this video about Indian cinema or European cinema. It's easy to look at the simple scale of K-pop fans nowadays and believe that there's some type of ABG hypnotism going on. And while there's definitely a fair share of those types of people, and some K-dramas that don't have as much meaning as they do hot people, the ones I want to talk about in this video genuinely changed my life. From my perspective on life and death to the value of family, there are some of the most meaningful stories you'll ever see in K-dramas. Starting with Move to Heaven, my first K-drama, the one that ripped my heart into pieces but glued it back together better than before. In the show, they run a company that does trauma cleaning. Bet some of y'all could use that. Shit, I could too. But it's not exactly what it sounds like. It's collecting belongings for someone who passed away. People who pass don't always have others around them who can do that for them. Rather, somebody has to clean up the space, pack away their things, and do it with care, which is what the company Move to Heaven does. Well, Gaeru and his father do until, slight spoiler, in the first episode, Gaeru's father suddenly passes away. My first K-drama, the one that ripped my heart into pieces, Gaeru's left alone until he meets his ex-convict uncle, Sang-gu, who is now in charge of him, but he's clearly just about that bread. Circumstances force them to run the business together, and in the process they uncover untold stories of the deceased and some of their own trauma. This is one of the most honest shows I've ever seen. For one, Gaeru has Asperger's, and it's portrayed with sincerity, not as a gimmick, not demeaning, not fetishized, but real. He goes through struggles, panic attacks, and has trouble navigating social situations, but also has gifts of memory, detail, and empathy that offer a brutal honesty around the touchy subject of death. Each episode isn't just cleaning a room, it's piecing together the fragments of someone's existence. A toothbrush left by the sink, shoes worn down from years of walking, or a stack of unsent letters. These tiny things become windows into who they once were and what they left behind. It doesn't sensationalize death, it doesn't glamorize it, it just sits you down and shows you what it really is, and the stories that survive it. Sang-gu's arc also deepens that. He starts off selfish, greedy, only caring about money, but through these stories, through Gaeru, he begins to understand family, grief, and love in a way that he hadn't before. It's kind of like Joel in The Last of Us, except if he was a hot young Korean uncle. So maybe it's not like Joel. What makes it cut deeper is Gaeru himself. His Asperger's means he processes grief in a different way, but in that he sees a truth that most people miss, things people were too ashamed or afraid to say. Watching him piece together lives forces you to ask, what will I leave behind and how will I be remembered? That's why Move to Heaven isn't just sad for sadness' sake, it's cathartic because it reminds you that you lose people twice. Once when their lives end, and again when their memories fade with them. Now, if Move to Heaven asks, what do you leave behind? Then Death's Game asks the opposite. What do you take for granted? Hopelessness is a terrible feeling. It eats people alive. Sometimes it makes us believe in a permanent solution to a temporary problem, which is exactly where Choi Yi-jae finds himself. After years of failure, rejection, and unemployment, he just like me. He decides to end his life.
He's not just like me.
But instead of nothing, he meets death herself. Put the gun down, you horny bastard. She makes sure he realizes the implications of what he did and decides that his punishment is to die 12 more times in 12 different bodies. If he survives in anyone, he doesn't go to hell. Yeah, y'all don't seem so excited to meet death now. At first, it's funny, like spawning into a doomed skydiver mid-fall, but quickly it turns devastating. Because Yi-jae is forced to live through people who don't want to die, people who are killed unfairly, violently, and tragically. He's shoved into lives where death comes too soon. It's a classic saying that we take our own lives for granted, but displayed in a way that you cannot deny. And through all of this comes the hardest scene I maybe ever watched in anything. Yi-jae sees his mother crying at his own funeral. That broke me. Like many of us, I've been in dark places. I've thought selfishly, maybe this pain could just end. But seeing that grief on screen, the pain left behind, it shook me. Unaliving yourself doesn't just end your book, it rips through the stories of the people who love you. Even if you don't feel it at the time, it's not just your life you're taking, it's theirs too. I'm not here to judge anyone, and I'm definitely not God, but this show made me realize the weight of that choice. How truly selfish and all around wrong it is. Someone somewhere does care. Even when the shadow feels permanent, there's always someone who will mourn you in a way you could never imagine. And the irony is that people who go through this type of stuff, who commit, are typically the most compassionate because they would rather harm themselves than other people. But you are harming others even if it doesn't seem it. Death's Game didn't just make me sad, it changed my perspective of life. It taught me to value it and to look for that value in others. Okay, enough sadness. Let's bring in some hope, guys. Some happiness. Yeah, the typical K-drama romance. You guys still here? We all forget that our parents had lives before us. They weren't always annoying boomers. They were once rebellious youths too. Like, Ma, I know you were getting lit too, just instead of Drake, it was Wham. When Life Gives You Tangerines is a love story. Yes, soapy, dramatic, classic K-drama stuff, but underneath it's a tribute to our parents' youth. To the fact that they once fought, dreamed, and loved just like we do. For me, this hit on a personal level. My parents are older, so there's always gonna be a distance, but sometimes you forget the sacrifices they've made, the dreams they gave up, the body aches they live with from years of work. The couple in Tangerines reminded me of my parents. Just like the couple in the show, they married for love, despite family disapproval and money issues. I mean, they literally married with $0 in the bank account. Both families hated it, but they went through with it anyway. And I told them once, we may not have grown up rich, and you may have worked odd jobs most of your life, but you both achieved the greatest thing a person can, which is making a family. Not a perfect one, not a fairy tale one, but a real one that was built on actual love. That's something money can't buy. That's something this generation of vanity, luxury, and status could never match. It's pure love and the family you create from it. When Life Gives You Tangerines reminded me of that. It made me realize that in a generation obsessed with wealth and image, the things that matter the most are the simple ones. Becoming a boomer. Well, those three are just scratching the surface, because if we're talking about K-dramas that slap, I gotta talk about some others. Weekiro Class 1 is easily one of my favorites, brutal, raw, and honestly one of the best depictions of school violence I've ever seen. The Good Bad Mother is an absolute emotional roller coaster, Lovely Runner is a peak romance, and Bloodhounds could use its own video. The action, the grit, the emotion, it's like if John Wick was broke and Korean. So yeah, Korean dramas didn't just make me laugh, cry, or yell shibal at the screen, they made me call my mom, made me rethink life, and that's what great stories do. They give you perspective you might have missed because of how fast life moves, and they remind you that family, love, and time are all we really have. So maybe I started this video roasting K-dramas, but by the end, they did what few stories have. They changed my life. But also, seriously, is K-pop Demon Hunters like actually that good? And I should probably watch it. You're still here? Yeah, that wraps up the video. I just do these outros if you're new here to kind of update y'all. Just say some stuff I forgot to mention in the video. And first and foremost, this is very out of my niche. But then again, my niche is just any types of media, TV show, movies. And I've been wanting to make this for a while. I don't know if this is going to get to like anyone because it's kind of random for the videos I've been uploading, but these shows genuinely have had an impact on me. And in a similar way, there's tons of foreign films and TV shows, like I said, that I could make more videos. I probably will make more videos about, but these K-dramas, they threw me for a loop, and they may be sad, but they have overarching themes that are more hopeful, I think, than anything in all three of these that I talked about. Besides that, I want to be more consistent with my uploading schedule. I saw Corey Kenshin got in drama over that, and I'm not gonna lie, that pissed me off because I want to be consistent, I want to upload, and I can have communication with you guys because I'm a smaller channel. But like, Corey's been doing that for 10 years. Over that, I think. I don't even know. But the fact is like, he could retire from YouTube and just not do this at all, and he has no obligation to post. So I get the communication aspect. Yes, he should be communicating with his fans, people that are loyal to him, but I want you guys to know, like, myself and him and all of us creators are the same exact people as you. So stuff just happens, stuff comes up, you know, and I say this as somebody who already struggles to consistently upload, because not only that, but I want to upload something I'm proud of and the type of video I want to make, and that doesn't always happen. You know, sometimes I've gone as far as making a full video and being like, I don't really want to upload that. So I'm sure he has that to the scale of millions of subscribers like he has. So sorry about that little tangent, but I did want to just talk about that, because is that really your biggest issue, that he's not communicating about his uploads, that he broke some promises on uploads? Like, yeah, it's not right, but like, to start entire drama over that, I mean, I guess it worked because he started uploading. So I guess you guys just have to bully me if I ever stop uploading, and it might work. That pretty much wraps up all my thoughts and concerns. I should be working on a 2B Hero X video because it's been amazing recently. I rarely make videos on the same thing twice, but I think this one definitely deserves another one. The animation has been unreal, and the show is just, it's that good. It's the best anime I think I've seen in a while, to be honest. So definitely check that out, and let me know what you guys think, any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, and I might see you in the next one.